So, the name is Chancellor K. Jackson, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I played football vast majority of my life. So that's a huge component to my.
Mm.
I played all throughout high school. I earned the opportunity to play in college as well. I played all 4 years down at Stetson University. That's in Florida. After I graduated from Stetson with a bachelor's degree in communication and media studies, I landed my first job teaching English to kids in China. So that's what took me over there. That's how I ended up over there. My contract was supposed to be a year. I only ended up doing 6 months because things went left. I was arrested and then served 14 days in a Beijing penitentiary. And pretty much how that all came to be is April 4th, 2019. It's a day off for me. I'm finna get ready to head to an event to meet some friends and hang out, just have fun and stuff. But before I go outside, I'm a pregame. Yeah, so now for those that don't know what pre-gaming is, here in America, when somebody say we finna pre-game, that means we finna party a little bit at the house before we go out
Mm.
and party some more. So that's all I was doing. I was drinking a little Chinese wine cooler, smoking a little cannabis, get done, get dressed, make sure I got everything I need before I walk out the door. As I'm doing that, I hear a knock. Curious to see who it is, I look through the peephole and there's the three officers from the Beijing police, randomly. Exactly. That's exactly how my face was. So, scramble, put everything up, open the door. They question me about drugs. I'm sitting here playing the fool like I don't know what they talking about.
Mm.
And then they drug test me right there on the spot. And once they pulled the drug test out, I said, yeah, it's over with. I just knew it was over with. Do the drug test. The results came back instantly. Failed it, of course. And now at this point, all forms of communication cease to exist. Cuffs are thrown on me, and I'm not sure what's going to happen next. We bounce around from precinct to precinct before I'm actually taken to the jail while I'm housed. And I'm locked up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 15 men to one cell, 9 wooden beds, 3 soups a day, and all I had was one plastic bowl and one plastic spoon. Nothing was explained to me as far as how the process works, what are the rules of the jail, how the jail even operates. Nobody knows I'm in this situation. I don't know what my specific charges are, how long I'm going to be here. And I'm sitting in this cell with 14 other Chinese men, none of which I can speak to. It ain't looking too good right about now. But most importantly, I got to hold myself accountable. I knew
Mm.
my decision making and I knew the repercussions from my choices. So now that things have hit the fan and here we are, hey, I got nobody to point the blame but myself. So however this plays out, I got to take it to the chin. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I know when it's all said and done, my spirit is still going to be intact. My mental is still going to be intact. I'm still going to be me. So I was just like, just take note of every minor detail because it's going to be a great story to tell once you out of this predicament. And I'm here to tell y'all I did 14 days. As you know what I'm saying, go throughout the story, you don't know what's going on. You learn as you go until one day they just call you to come on. So they called me
Just
to
like
come
that.
randomly.
Okay. Well, crazy.
So they, um, yeah. So after I was released from jail, they took me straight to my apartment to pack up the rest of my stuff, and then I was taken straight to the airport where I was deported from the country. So I came back to America, back to square one all over again, trying to figure out how I'm gonna bounce back from falling on my face. Um, I started writing 14 Days in Beijing that summer,
Mm.
into coaching football, and still continue to work in education. Here we are years later. We're 6 books in, 4 that I've written, 2 additionals that I published, helped publish from other authors. Started my publishing company in 2021. 14 Days in Beijing has had a lot of success since then. Um, so yeah, man, we just coaching people through the writing and publishing process.
Cool. I mean, I already like I have so many questions. I don't know where to start, but I would go probably to the beginning. Like you said, like, a big important part of your life at that point of time was playing football, but
Yeah.
you went abroad not to do that. You went abroad to because of your studies and to work there. You were offered a job position there. What exactly were you doing in China for those 6 months?
I was teaching kids. I was teaching kids as young as 3 years old, all the way up to 14, but mainly working with between ages 3 and about 7, young,
Mm.
with the younger kids, teaching English as a foreign language.
Cool. did you know anything of what was waiting for you there? Like, did you have any cultural expectations? I mean, for sure, like the fact of that the police can come to your place, open the door, and make you a drug test is something that probably you would not be expecting. But were you knowing where you were going, more or less?
Yeah, I knew I was going to China. I knew it was a communist country. And I knew like it was a strict place where I was going. So that's why I said accountability. Like once things have hit the fan and now I'm locked up, it's like, well, you knew what you was doing. you knew the repercussions from making those decisions. So, hey, we got to take this to the chin for sure. That's what first and foremost, always hold yourself accountable.
Makes sense. Why China? That's one of the biggest questions that I have. Like, you had the passion for the country, or you were curious about it, or you applied only to there?
Well, it's ironic because in the introduction of my book, I flash back to a table conversation me, my mom, and my brother are having one Saturday morning at breakfast. I was probably like 7, 8 years old, and my mom asked my brother and I, she said, "What's 3 places in the world that y'all would like to go? And I'm gonna make sure that we go." Instantly and eagerly, I said, "China." And she was like, "Why China?" The only logical reason I had at that young age, that's where everything is made. You look on the back of any product where it say, made in China. I said, I want to go to the land where everything is made. I don't know what it is. I'm like, why China got all the product? Everything is made in China. I want to go there. But it was just that table conversation with that her just making us voice our wants and desires that literally coming to fruition many, many years later. But Beijing, Shanghai, and Bali, Indonesia were the options I got to choose from. Like once I got hired, I didn't know anything about Bali, Indonesia, so I was like, I automatically crossed that. I'm like, I don't know nothing about that. I originally chose Shanghai because it's a bigger city, but the demand for teachers wasn't as high as it was. He was like, yeah, you can go to Shanghai, but you got to pay for your plane ticket. If you choose Beijing, we'll pay for everything. I was like, well, y'all should have said that from the beginning. Beijing it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I don't think it's also a cheap place to fly to. No?
These alone already was like $500. Then you got to pay for the flight too? No.
Crazy. How was your life before this moment of the police coming and bringing to you? We will go back to the moment in prison because I'm very curious about that. But what was your day to day in there like?
In China or before China?
In China, I mean.
Oh, so it was, my work days were Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I was off Wednesdays and Thursdays. So Wednesdays and Thursdays were my only days off. Every other day we was working. Weekends are our busiest days because we're not like an actual school. We're a training center that specializes in teaching English. So when the kids are not in regular school, they come to us. So after school, they with us. On the weekends, they with us. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty much my schedule. I go to work out, then go to work, come home, shower, eat. We'll just listen to music, watch something, smoke, vibe out, and then just do that whole process all over again. And our days off, we just took those days to just explore Beijing. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, bro. I'm pretty much in a whole different world. Everything's an adventure. Literally, from the smallest thing you could think of, it is going to be an adventure. Going to the grocery store, adventure. Going to the bank, an adventure. Like everything is an adventure. Because one is the area, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna draw attention everywhere you go. You know what I mean? So it was harmonious though. I enjoyed it. The food, authentic Chinese food.
Yeah. Okay.
Fire. Meeting the other locals. The Chinese people were nice. Very welcoming, very loving. I ain't really feel no ill will or malicious intents from any of the natives. They was all cool. Meeting the other foreigners. That was a vibe too, because it's like I could have met y'all anywhere. But here we are meeting each other in Beijing, China. You know what I'm saying? You meet people from all different walks of life, from Africa, Europe, South America, you know what I'm saying? You name it. People from all over the place. Australia, everywhere. So that was dope too. And then of course working with the kids. That's the sole purpose of me being out there. So I'm like, if I don't enjoy the work, that's going to dictate the entire experience because that's what I'm there for. But yeah, I was working with the babies, so the energy and the atmosphere was always lit in class. I got music playing. most of our lessons I turned into competitions, so it was just nothing but high energy when we stepped foot in the classroom. So that was harmonious too. So it's like prior to those 14 days, China was the best experience I've ever had in my life.
Nice. Very cool. I mean, you touched something that I also wanted to ask you, because when you come from a English speaking country, no, you expect that places of the world speak English, and probably Asia, and especially China, might not be the place, no, where people are more used like to speak English at all. How was communicating with locals? How was, also, of course, racially wise, like you're a black man
Yeah,
in the middle of an Asian country, you stand out. I don't think, I'm not talking about being racial intentionally, but
yeah.
you stand out for sure. Like,
Matter
did you had situations?
No, I mean, you don't, like I said, you're gonna draw attention. Now some people, everybody's experience is different. I say
Mm-hmm.
most like women of color, like black women, they have more harsher experiences, like with folks just walking up to them and touching them and grabbing their hair and real talk. They'll come just touch your
Yeah. Okay.
face, make sure you
No.
poke you with stuff, or walk see with their phone, just take a picture. Like I didn't have issues like that, but I know people that did. Me, for I guess they just showed respect to me. I guess they was scared of me a little bit because I used to be a college football player. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot. So yeah, they wasn't playing with me like that, but it was cool though. Like, I I enjoyed the locals, and with the language, you might catch some locals that can speak a little bit of English, but vast majority of them don't. And I knew just enough Mandarin to move and groove. I'm not finna sit here and have no full in-depth conversation with you. Nah, not happening. But I knew just enough to get around. And if push comes to shove, you pull out your phone, go to the translation app. That's the easiest form of, you know what I'm saying, to communicate with the locals and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big thing that you already knew some basic Mandarin to at least to go shopping and thing. I think it makes a huge difference everywhere. I mean, I lived in Athens, where people in Greece generically speaks very good English, but if you drop that few sentences of speaking Greek properly to buy groceries, to get a coffee, grab a beer, whatever, world changes, because they respect you much more. You're making an effort to talk with people in their tongue, no, and that's big a game changer, I think,
Yeah, for
whenever
sure.
you're abroad.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe let's talk about